Hey there, welcome to an According to Anna video. Today I'm gonna share my absolute favorite chili recipe, which just happens to be paleo as well. There are a slew of amazing, healthy chili recipes on Pinterest, online, and cookbooks. This one just so happens to be my favorite. I've tried a few others, but again, like this one just tastes so amazing. And if you try it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So that being said, I'm gonna show you how to make it. So here's what we're going to need. 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I'm just using 1 pound tonight since it's just me and Randy. I figure I'll cut back a little bit. 2 tablespoons of oil. My oil of choice tonight is olive oil. Although typically I would use avocado oil, I'm just out, so olive oil is the winner tonight. 2 cloves of garlic chopped, 1 large onion chopped, 1/2 cup of celery chopped, 1.5 cups of diced carrots, about 2 to 3 zucchinis chopped, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. This is optional, just if you wanted some added spice to your chili. 1 15-ounce can of tomato sauce, and 1 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes. This recipe also calls for 1 teaspoon of cumin and 1 teaspoon of oregano. And it just so happens that my chili powder is a blend with cumin and oregano in it. So while you won't see me feature those spices, it's because they're in my blend. So I'm using them, it's just, I didn't have any to show you. The prep time for this recipe is about 10 minutes. However, I am a really slow dicer, and so it was about 20-25 minutes for me. But if you are good with a knife, then it'll be 10 minutes for you. Cook time is about 30 minutes. So total time, this recipe is only 40 minutes, which is very reasonable, I think. This recipe supposedly serves 8. And while I've never tried to serve 8 people, Randy and I typically can get 4 meals out of this, so that would be pretty accurate. This is my big chili pan. I've heard this recipe tastes amazing in a skillet. However, I don't have a seasoned skillet currently, so until then, a big pot works just as fine. Add some oil and your garlic. It'd be helpful if we turned on the oven. Otherwise, that will be no good. And we're just gonna brown our meat. And we gotta wash our hands. So the recipe doesn't specifically say to do this. However, I like to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper to my meat. After the meat is browned, you can set it aside for later use. So now you're gonna add more olive oil, your onions, your celery, your carrots, and your spices to the pot and cook for about 5 to 7 minutes until the onions, you know, look translucent, that kind of thing. So as a side note, just before anyone comments down below how I didn't measure the spices, I don't measure spices. I know what I like, I know what Randy likes. So sometimes I'm a little bit more generous with one spice than I am with another. And that's just because I know I like it. I know that it's good if I've made it before. Now if it's a new recipe, sometimes I'll follow the spice measurement to a T. It just depends. So I just wanted to go ahead and preface that. Once the onions are golden, have that translucent look, you're gonna add the zucchini. We're gonna stir everything really well, and it's gonna cook for about 2 minutes. You need to stir a lot in those 2 minutes. It's just so colorful and beautiful. Look at all the colors. Let's just love them. Now we're gonna add our browned beef. Ah! We have some casualties. I think there was just one, good deal. And our tomato sauce. as well as our diced tomatoes. I could have drained that a little bit before I dumped them, but that's okay. Stir everything really well. We're gonna then bring it to a boil, and once it reaches a boil, we're gonna reduce the heat and let it simmer for about close to 20 minutes. Something to keep in mind, this is a very thick chili. It is super thick. So if you wanted something more soup-like, I don't know, I might suggest picking a different recipe. But it's tasty, it's just really thick. So you might have noticed that this recipe does not call for beans, and that's because it's paleo. You don't notice that they're not in this though, I promise. Because of all the veggies that are in here, you will not miss out on the beans. And there you have it. Glorious, glorious paleo chili. Not only does it taste just excellent, but I can't help but like admire all the colors. It's pretty. It's also a pretty dish. I don't know if you can say that for a lot of recipes. They're just pretty. This is pretty. So if you're looking for a healthy chili recipe, maybe this is it. This recipe came from Pinterest, and I'm gonna link the recipe down below for your viewing pleasure, especially if you like to follow measurements precisely more than I do anyway. If you end up making this recipe, let me know your thoughts, and if you thought it tasted good. I'll let you know my thoughts on it right now. A++. Plus. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm hoping that there will be more like it in the days to come. We'll see. And I will catch you next time. I like to cook it. My throat went out. I like to, dang it. I've heard that it's this